Well, in recent weeks we've had a look at a whole range of different members of the racing fraternity, from trainers to jockeys to the horses themselves. Without one special ingredient though, they'd all be out of business: the owner. Dixie Marshall this week met the nation's most successful provincial owner. Bill Lanyon has owned hundreds of winners, predominantly in the country, and it's there Dixie went for this story.
It's a very special mixture of romance out here, that of the turf and that of the bush. Big Bill Lanyon has been indulging an enduring love affair with both for 40 years now. His reputation is almost as large as his imposing stature around these parts. Bill Lanyon has owned and raced horses in the bush since he bought his first one, a pacer, for 20 quid as a teenager. These days he thinks he's got about 50 in work, most in partnership with mates, and is the most successful provincial owner in the nation.
There is a lot of luck, because you look at horses, you look at them in the sale ring as yearlings, you breed them, and we've both bred and bought yearlings that have won. So I really do think there is skill to it. We've got to give credit to our trainers, vets, who study the horses before you buy them. You study the bloodlines of the horses, and but really I think there's an enormous amount of luck.
Sure, that's important, but so's an astute eye for horse flesh and a full pocket. Bill Lanyon has both.
It's not a cheap hobby by any means, but they do have to. You do have to keep your arithmetic together, and hopefully that they can pay their way. Last up, but I do think she's got a good chance, have we?
Yeah.
So I hope we have a bit of luck.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If you're going to be successful, you've got to have your own opinions, and if you're really interested, the interest of the horses has got to be there. You've got to really take an interest in every part, but otherwise I don't think you'd have the same thrill.
John Castleman is one of half a dozen trainers who prepare Lanyon horses. They've been mates since they played football together in Mildura.
Oh yeah, well you wouldn't get anyone better, I wouldn't think. You know, he's been good to me. We try to do the right thing by him, and we can't always be right, but as long as we can, be every now and then. Well, he's never bothered me, you know. He's always he likes you to be able to say you can go somewhere and do this, or can you take something to somewhere, But no, he doesn't interfere.
He's a pretty easygoing kind of a bloke.
Spot on.
Even the type of horse Bill buys for his stables smacks of a bushy's taste. No flashy sprinters for him. Bill likes the stayers. He dreams not of winning a blue diamond, but of a derby.
There is a lot more depth to stayers where you get a 2-year-old that just gets out and runs. Well, that's good fun, but I really do think that my ambition is to win a race where you've got to spend time and patience, and you probably don't pay so much for the horses either. They're not as expensive stayers because they do take longer.
And Bill's prepared to wait. It took him more than 20 years to get his first Metropolitan winner, and although Unspoken Word and Clay Hero have most recently provided his greatest thrills in the city, the big bloke is happy to keep plugging away in the bush, satiating that special infatuation.
I think you've got to have a love for horses, but yes, I think it is. The thrill of winning is certainly it's certainly great.
Yes, Bill's a good bloke, and there are men and women like him right around Australia that are supporting the industry. And Bill started off in harness racing, trotting as it was.